to get a great couple of openings from the B stairs, and now means that Child King is the last one left. 1 versus 4, and well, Score does make a very over-aggressive peek in towards his crosshair. So at least takes one down with him, but how much more can he realistically find? Already a backstab coming through for Shinobi, and a very simple round going the way of D13, getting off to the right start, Jay, over on Vertigo.
Yep, nice and efficient. Good opener, good start. Good way in for D13, and again, just trying to return and reverse the embarrassment that was that last map up in this series.
Yep.
They're trying to see if they can, reverse the situation over on this opening half of Vertigo. Their AK's out in standards, of course. 4 rifles, 1 MAC-10, very similar to their pistol rounds in the previous map as well, where they just went the no spared expensed route. Tamir on the corner here at the U-Haul. DD is ready for the mid control. Pistol out at point blank, ready to receive him. So stack in towards the B half of the map as well. A site is completely open.
You know what, one thing is a little bit surprising, Jay, is the lack of force buys we've seen in the anti-eco rounds. We've certainly seen, like, in CIS, Europe, NA, and even in Oceania in recent times. It seems like everyone's trying to go for these force buys on the second rounds, but for both teams, they're really just opting to try and go very light. Wings up, not investing a lot whatsoever. An upgraded Deagle onto land, but outside of that, that's it.
Yeah, he got that first kill over on DD's part of things. Sorry, on Tamir's part of things. DD's going to get traded back with that MAC-10 picked up from Tamir. Again, that SMG just being dropped out of play is not going to be a massive much here to D13. Keep the AKs in play is going to be their main concern. Galil's a sacrificial at this stage as well. They do drop 1 AK, but... oh, actually, a second one will end up falling, but it passed back off towards Shinobi, so both the AK stay in play. 3 casualties, though, and the Kevlar is definitely going to be inexpensive for the T side.
And for D13, it's got to be really important for these guys to at least make it into the main event, because they're actually in a pretty high ranking when it comes to the ESL Pro Tour points. Currently on 24 points, ranked 5th in Asia. So at least being able to get into the main event is going to give them some points onto the banner. Now with the map split evenly, Jay, at 1 apiece. Going into the gun round, into round 3. Wings Up going very aggressive to try and take some of this early ramp control. Not a lot of utility on this CT side considering they invested the rifles into round 3, and Shinobi has just opened up ramp. 2 great kills for him, but there's still a 3rd player here from LAN.
Naded out. DD comes up with a backstab though, makes that work the second time around. Annihilation drops that bomb control for the CT side. They're going to try and work their way into the mid stack. Martin is there to receive it, but these 2 CTs back over at ramp position just got to deal with Shinobi, and they'll be able to hold off on their own. Shinobi does get land. The trade doubles up on DD for a quadra kill overall. And now Martin stands alone against Tamir, wrapping in from one side. Haska's coming in close, but the MAC-10 will get that frag. So a 3M4 for D13. A 3-0 start for the T side.
I tell you what, hats off to Shinobi. He played that really, really well. What I love is that he got aggressive and was able to get out some trades, and then he just waited. He waited for the follow-up aggression to come through, and Wings Up just fed it to him. He ends up getting a 4K. His teammate Tamir finds that last kill. And D13 keep things going over on the T side. Now, one thing we certainly mentioned, Jay, over on Overpass was some weak T sides. It was the CT sides from both teams that was incredibly strong. So it is good to see for D13 that they're starting things off on that T side.
A second kill for Tamir. Gas to fall. DD and LAN aggressive here towards the ramp positions. The nades up. Looking down range, incendiaries coming through a standard here for the T side. Looking at these upgrade pistols, try to do some damage for the Wings Up side. D13 trying to avoid it. Shinobi does get the kill on DD. Good kill for LAN, drops the bomb. There's still a 3-for-1 trade, favor of course to the T side.
A good response, at least, out for the CT side. I mean, just on an eco, if they can get away with any more damage, then that would be great. Unfortunately, the B bomb side's kind of already been opened up. Tamir's found a bit of an entrance out through Connector, and he's even running through CT spawn. Annihilation's going with a peek with the bomb, so that does get dropped, so the chance for it to be recovered. Martin, though, catches off another player looking the wrong way. What is going on here with D13? They're still in a good position to be able to convert the round, but damage has been mass for Wings Up.
Yeah, plant secured, Score puts it down. Martin moves up here, the AK in tow, making a lot of noise about this. Is being very big about his position. Molotov towards the Sambos and then forces the T-side players away. And the smoke towards the bomb. That's not going to cover off that cross though, so a swing out from Heaven can come through for Tamir. Gonna isolate a bit back over in the alley position. Spray through if Tamir does catch off that frag. And that will be a fall to the board of D13. But again, heavy damage sustained there by the T-side. A lot of reinvestment's got to come through, and with just pistols out, that's not too bad for Wings Up.
Would you say he was as noisy as a rooster in the morning, Jay?
Is that an in-joke in relation to the OCE side of things, or?
It wasn't actually.
Oh wow, you made a joke that
No.
I caught on being completely unintentional. Alright. D13 up on the T side. 3 kills found here on the ramp entryway. Child King trying to find some trades, but he falls quick. And Lan is left alone. A 1v4. D13 having a plant down over to the A site. Not much they can do about that.
Just completely overwhelmed in ramp. And even the aggression's going to come through from Score. Land's going to have players in the back line, and Score's going to be able to end things off with the Deagle. 5-0 start for D13. And maybe this is an opportunity for Wings Up to take an early tactical pause. I know for both teams, we didn't really get to see a lot of tacticals coming out on that first map of Overpass. Surely, when you thought there were circumstances and positions where you thought it was going to come through. But D13, this has been really comfortable. Their ramp control has been coming out pretty much every single round. It hasn't been too much of a contest. The entries have been fantastic. The trade's even better. And I'm getting a little bit worried here for Wings Up that they're not putting enough sort of attention into taking away some early rounds, Jay. This is just looking too simple for D13.
I mean, not as simple as you might expect. I mean, they have had some very high casualty sort of rounds here on this T side,
Yeah.
So be wary of that much. First frag found on Tamir. DD has opened up the frag counts here for the Wings Up side. Getting an AK in against Score as well. So far aggressive towards the T-spawn. Gets damage to Haster, but that's a 2-for-1. Making it 3-for-1 as Land pushes up now an AK for his own right. Deagle's in. Haster's going to get caught off guard. Gets that 1 kill. Heavy damage sustained. Does transfer the spray towards Martin. 3 to his name, but a 2-on-2 scenario gained here by Wings Up.
I'll tell you what, Diddy did some work there. Getting that first kill, picking up the AK, and even following with a second. Hasker finds a bit of a response in, and now they can play the mind games in this 2-on-2. There's a little bit of utility for them to work with, so they can potentially throw some over to the B bomb site and maybe head towards A. Now, for Wings Up, they have split the defense. 1 player towards this A bomb site and 1 over to B. Child King, though, he's going to be able to, you would think, get the majority of the information, but he's even thinking about a potential of a mid play because they've got the area of the map opened up. The enemy P can't hit the shot, and now Annihilation's in a 1-on-2.
Eagle with his back turned, looking on for Annihilation. Taps up, doing damage. He's on 15 points of health. Incendiary's backed up. Child King going to get forced away, and there comes the AK frag back. 1-on-1, and Land's going to make some noise about this. This way is going to go awkwardly for Annihilation, and the kill will come through there for the Wings Up side. Pistols and AKs in tow, and that's going to be an eco victory for the CT side.
Pistols galore to come out from Wings Up. And I think for D13, we have certainly seen a couple of holes in their offensive where we've seen Wings Up pushing out through mid a couple of times and being able to get some backstab attempts through. So D13 really need to be careful, Jay, once in their defaults that they're gaining as much map control as possible and not allowing any of these aggressive plays to continue. DD with the NWP, blind off angle, still hits that shot. That's a great opener for the CTs.
Back in on the defensive, D13 finally going to get suppressed here by the opening kills. Molotov's up and down range, back way for Haste Cut. Boost up for this man now going into the
oh
wood
no,
boost.
that's his own molly.
Yeah, that's going to be information game on the CT side as well. I don't know if they actually heard those footsteps, but either way, moves in, takes a minimal amount of damage, and does force the CTs back to passive angles.
Yeah, they must have known. They heard the ticks there, so they can have an idea. I mean, they don't know whether he's pushed back, though. So it is still a little bit of uncommon information. are still putting on a pretty heavy B defense. They've even brought a third player over, and a quick rotator could come out from mid. The CTs are dealt in great positions to deal with this B-side XE.
Oh, blind off as the AK close range. Heiska gets that kill. Martin finds that trade back. 5 HP in quad, the wallbang damage eventually comes to fruition. Medidi with his own wallbang shot. AWP chimes in for his 2K score in the mid position. Gas deals with him. Knows exactly where Annihilation is. The shot's ringing out. Edge of the smoke. Does he push forward? Yes, he does, but doesn't catch off the kill. Instead, Annihilation comes up good for his own pick, and D13 end up with 6.
I think my fist would be through my monitor at that point. I can't believe Gas doesn't win out that fight. Sitting in the smoke, the bomb goes down, and the AWP from Annihilation backs off. That should have been an easy clutch, a simple kill. And Annihilation on red HP in the end gets a fast flick for a 6th round from D13. That's got to be frustrating for Wings Up.
That's going to heavily hurt the economy basis of the CT camp, and they're not on the same page when it comes to this buy-up. 2 players forcing the issue, one of which has already gone down. It's AWP, and for Land doesn't hit his shot either. Makes his way around towards the angle, ready to receive players to the D13 side. The Molotovs will be extinguished by the smokes up. And Lan with his eyes on, wrapping around this corner. Does catch Annihilation for a simple 4v4 scenario now. Mac-10 next in for Tamir. And Lan's got to do this all on his own. He's the only player towards this A side, the only rifle in check. Being seen and forced off. Angle forces away. Didi comes to the backstab, deals with Heiska. Lan takes some damage, keeping his eyes on. And the swing out from Ali comes up good for a 3-on-3 situation. Didi fragging away. Can't seem to find that headshot on the likes of the player up towards the top end of the ramp area. Eventually gets that kill. Now the Pistols can start leaning in. Damage being done heavily to the AWP, but Wings Up are going to get traded.
And a massive unnecessary fight there coming out from Didi and Tamir. I mean, he's back turned completely to CD spawn. And now Shinobi's in the 1 versus 2. Now he's playing on the outside of the railings position, but the kill does not come through. Oh man, like what are D13 doing there? First of all, why is the duel even coming out to DD towards the bottom of ramp? They don't need to take that exchange at all. They're in a 3-on-3 post plant. He can wait for his teammate to maybe back him up and they compete together, taking just a 1-on-1 duel. And then Tamir just has his back turned to CT spawn completely. Ah, man, I don't know what was going on there. There was some very, very weird comms on that T side.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. It's going to mean a 100% conversion ratio for Wings Up's ecos. Both of them having gotten together to win out the rounds here so far for the CT side. Yeah, not looking amazing right now for the D13 camp. Have managed to get that 4-round lead, so at least the rifles turn around here. Shouldn't be able to get a massive sort of breakaway against D13. Will mean they make up some ground against the lead, though. First frag found on Gas. He's low HP, so is Lamb. He lines up 2 more good picks. So 3 players standing for D13, and not much that he can do about it.
Now, this AK of Score hasn't really had an opportunity to be able to find too much. Lamb with that AWP connecting means that it's all down to 2. The 2 players that have already taken the B stairs control. A bomb dropped out from mid. This round is pretty much all but over. And it wasn't a complete force. They did it force into an AK, but it really was just an eco around it. So you would expect them to try and do some damage, but not convert the rounds. Unfortunately, they haven't really been able to do too much. You've got a couple of players relatively low on this CT side. I'm even kind of surprised that Land's going for such an aggressive pick, considering how low HP he is, but he's fueled with confidence, Jay.
I guess that frag, nice and easy. 6-3 now. And the rebuy coming in for the T side should be looked at here. Should be seeing AKs coming out for most of the players here, so let's see exactly how well they will contest against these double orbs, it looks like, actually, for the CT camp. Yep, Lan and Didi holding on. Actually, no, a half-buy coming out from D13. Okay, Tech 9 CZs in the Kevlar and several players. A helmet out for Shinobi. Should be dealt with pretty well by 3 of the weapons they have for the Wings upside. And now going to go fast in towards the A play, dealt with by at least 1 orb. Flashes in, will catch off the M4 from peeking. Hate's going to get himself 2 good frags, and Score turns it around. What is up with these half-by rounds? D13 returning some favors back to Wings Up.
And it was normally Wings Up the ones that were winning these ecos and the half buys. Now it's gone the other way. And D13 take the ramp control. Like, they've taken ramp relatively quickly for the majority of the rounds in this first half. That time around, though, in this Tech 9 buy, it's a lot quicker. They deal with the sandbags player really early. They bait in aggression, too, for Wings Up. The protocol just not being there on the CT side, it felt like they tried to get aggressive to take fights rather than playing passive into the side and allow... play.
Uh-oh, I've had a game problem, Dweg. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask you to radio cast for a little bit while I sort this issue out. It's that same problem, you know, the one I've been having recently where the game just freezes in place and you hear all the sounds, but you just don't get any visual?
Yeah.
So, yeah, while I go ahead and fix that, do you mind just giving me a bit of a radio cast, like, while I just, you know, get the game reset?
It's like when you're on an aeroplane with the sleep mask on, the eye patch. That's exactly what it's like. But look for D13.
What? What? That makes no sense.
What do you mean it makes no sense? You don't see anything, but you hear it.
Well, what are you hearing on an aeroplane?
Oh, mate, you know, people are talking, you know, catching up, making a couple of phone calls in the air.
What? Wait, what plane are you on where a phone can be used?
Well, I mean, I haven't been on a plane for a while, but yeah, you know, people making a couple of phone calls. But look, anyway, ramp control has tried to come out from D13, but Wings Up have been able to get some really early exchanges. They've got the man advantage. They have the 4-on-3, and for D13, they do have the bomb control, but they are still trying to press the issue. I'm actually kind of surprised that rather than getting away from ramp and maybe trying to take some mid control out towards B, they've decided to continuously fight, and now they've been able to find a response, get that 3 versus 3. Lan is caught so far off guard, and Shinobi's able to now find a couple of kills.
I'm back in 3-on-2 scenario. Trade comes in from DD at least towards this A-site control. The bomb making its way back through ramp. Looks like want to try and go for a rotation back here on the Wings Up side. The AK and AWP defend off against the 2M4s. One player is tagged up pretty heavily here for Wings Up. Move closer to position. Making their way around with the AWP. Only one to hold off here. Martin is keeping his eyes on that mid control. Expecting to be some sort of mid play, but it's not going to be. Drops that bomb now on the stairs. Sees that second. Now all info gain. 10 seconds left of the clock, and Martin gets his secondary frag. And therefore, we go 7-4 up for the T-side line.
I'll tell you what, this has been a really decent recovery coming out from Wings Up. You know, down 0-5, got off to a really slow start. They're now starting to come back into their own. We are seeing a couple of back and forward rounds. I think the one thing that Wings Up, if they can sort of start to strengthen, Jay, is just some of their defensive plays against those eco rounds. And going into round 12, it will be a complete full buy. And D13 getting the AKs out and trying to go back to their ramp control, which they've done time in, time out. Wings Up have been able to recently do some early damage when it comes down to the nades, but not even the utility. It's DD making an aggressive play that finds the opening kill.
Yeah, straight up and out. Opening kill. Nice and easy for the CT side. Wings Up have played that aggression particularly well. M4's AK out for Martin this time. The AK is out for the T side as well. Head Kevlar in against the M4s. Should be able to fend off against Wings Up for the most part here. No AWP's out, but minutes of the clock, and this rifle round has gone particularly well for the CT camp. D13 and not aggressing too far forward.
Letting at least Wings Up just give the T side up this ramp control, not looking to retake it whatsoever. A bit of spam coming through is going to at least do a little bit of damage onto Lan. 3 players at this A bomb site still. Now I'm going to be keeping a bit of an eye out for the mid play from Tamir. There's an opportunity for him to try and backstab in through this control. Maybe see if he can catch people sleeping off guard. But look at the swing coming out from Score to find the opener.
Tamir finds his way into the mid controls. Well, catches DD off. Gas will find that trade, and Lan trades it back all the same to a 3-on-2 now. Favor to the Wings Up side. M4 spray. Shinobi dealt with. Annihilation. 1 versus 3. Takes minimal damage. Moves in against Gas, drops him. Bomb still out of his control though. 15 seconds to pick it up. Again, they plant towards the site, and the smoke's up from the CT side. Going to try and block him. He gives him the cover he needs though to get on, pick it up, get the plant now on the site, close towards default. In the meantime, the smoke sprays through from Martin and Ian though. Do come up, find that player, get him traded, and deny the round here for the T side.
That may be one of the weirdest smokes I think we've seen all day. He just smokes the bomb, and the T-side player's like, right, well, that's easy to pick up now. Wings up 2 for recovering in the end there. 5 on the board now. And again, we're having one of these sort of, not strange rounds, but a heavy investment to come out for Shinobi. And you've got to be making sure in a round like this that he's got to be finding damage. He's probably going to be on a Galil or even Mac 10 for the round to follow. So he's got to make this AK investment worth it.
AK set in for Shinobi. Ready to receive here for anyone towards that mid control. That's where the CTs are mostly focused on, that mid position. D13 stacking their way in for what looks to be a burst out play into the B site with stack position contested by Tamir. Spray through of Gas catches that first. Martin gets that second. Spray through of Land comes in with the own double up. Score trades it, but doesn't last much longer. So Eco Pistols dealt with. No AK recovered by the CT side. But now within 1 for Wings here. D13 again with a stomping lead, but they have lost a mountain of control.
Yeah, and look, I am one of the fans of like those rounds where one player heavy invests, and you know, if they get a bomb plant, then there's going to be a little bit of extra money. But you've got to be making sure that that heavy investment is doing damage. And unfortunately for Shinobi, that AK in the last round did nothing. Really, that eco wasn't successful at all. It means that he's going to be on a deagle to follow going into round 14, backed up by the rifles of his teammates. Aditi's going to get the information. He's at least heard footsteps of 2 or 3 players out from this early mid control.
Incendiaries down. Trying to force the CTs off position. They do manage to force Tamir at least, but the smoke and the utility set in from the T-side players behind him is probably going to come through in a moment. Smoke's down. Incendiaries out. Again, trying to force players away, and they make their way up to position. Got Gas in the middle of the smoke. DD pops out, finds that one frag. They could all line up. All the kills coming in for Martin, though. And the defensive holds once again for Wings Up. Force out from D13, not working. Shinobi with a deagle left in a 1v5, and they have looked confident now that they've got themselves going here.
Yeah, look, it took a little bit of time, but now Wings Up are really starting to put hurt on. This is going to be their 4th round in a row, and for Shinobi, I mean, what can he even do in this kind of position? 1 versus 5, the bomb is so far out of his control. And there's just going to be so many AKs too on this CT side. You would expect Shinobi does get away with 1 kill, so now the information comes through. They can start to hunt, they can play passive, they can do whatever they like. How much more can he find? If he gets away with another kill, that would be great, but it's not going to happen. Wings Up converting their 7th and tying up the scoreline, Jay. Vertigo, it's very similar to how Overpass was, right? We had a very one-sided performance, and then it started to become competitive. That's kind of what we're seeing on Vertigo in that sense. Yeah, the lead from D13 to start off the map wasn't as large as it was on Overpass, but we had a 5-0 start for D13, and now we're tied up at 7-7.
Again, decent lead. Many rounds in a row for Wings Up. Looking at a very confident setup again for the CT side. Lamb makes his way forward in first, takes a bit of damage, and then eventually goes down towards Shinobi. Annihilation rushes forward to Mac 10, gets Gas as well to the site. 5v3, damaged up, heavy tags onto several of the T-side players. Child King swings forward trying to punish him. The score comes up, DD gets the trade. Now it's him and Martin alone here against the T-side, and the AK picked up on Annihilation gets DD to fall, so it's all left to Martin in a 1 versus 3. Sees score, sprays through, doesn't get the frag, gives away his position, and from here, it looks like D13 might have themselves a confident post-plant position.
You would certainly expect so. Martin up and around the orange boxes, but D13 are going to be able to convert their 8th, taking the lead going into the second half. We're going to head over to a short little break. Don't go anywhere. The second half up just after this.
Oh, baby. So baby, stay with me where the sun doesn't go down, and we will drift away until the day the world stops spinning, 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 until the day the world stops spinning.
Out of the shadows, I've come to make a name. Ready for battle, cause I got a throne to claim. Think that I'll crumble, I'll show you a mistake. Where you see me coming, better run for cover, cause I'm not slowing down, I'm never going under. I survived the pain, I know it made me stronger. So meet the monster I came to conquer. When all the smoke clears, I'll still be on my feet. Forget all of my fears, cause I know my destiny. I feel a champion waking inside of me. It's in motion, the legend's spoken. This is my moment. Can't break my focus, know where I'm going. This is my moment. Where you see me coming, better run for cover, cause I'm not slowing down.
Well, a much closer half this time between D13 and Wings, with a real good chance for a very even map to close things out here on Vertigo. Second half about to go live with Wings up taken off to their T side. D13 do have the slight advantage with a single round difference, but again, it could have been much, much bigger here. Let's see how they hold off against this. Double flash and smoke for land defuse kit on Tamir. Flashback HE for Shinobi. And Wings up playing the defaults towards A.
I'll be interested to sort of see where D13 decide to whether just to retake the bomb side towards A, or they actually want to try and take some fights, because, well, for the moment, they did have 3 players towards this A bomb site, so they've still got a pretty heavy stack coming in. The first smoke going to go down for the cross. Wings up, starting to make their play into this ramp control, and it looks like for D13, rather than aggressing and trying to take the fights, they're just going to play retake.
A bomb going to go down here very quickly to the site. No questions about it. No real challenge from D13, but on the default areas, the USP will start to make their way in. Defuse kit on at Tamira. Smokes do go down to try and siphon off Land's position. Good kill from Martin. Annihilation comes up. Child King with a good kill. DD with a follow-up frag. There's solo HP on the CT side, and Wings up clean house efficiently. 4 alive for the T side, and a pistol going their way.
Alrighty, well, the Glock's actually coming up really nicely there. D13 is setting themselves up for a retake. They're going to smoke down onto the bomb, and the Glocks just overwhelm the bomb site. We see once the CTs actually start the rotation and start to retake in, the T side actually start to sort of backstab and aggress themselves and sort of like counteract and get behind the CT side. D13 going in with the force buy into the second round of this second half. Something that we haven't seen a massive amount when it comes to these second round anti-ecos, but we have seen the ecos be successful many times in the past between these two sides, and well, case in point, the Deagle's doing work.
Yeah, 2 for 1. Once again, this forced up for D13. Pistols and Kevlar have done manic amounts so far for both teams. I believe that bomb's also dropped towards that mid position, so Score may have a lot more than just a weapon to work with. So Annihilation seen by Martin. That AK will move up for Wings up. Try and take contact here towards the aggressive A play. If he gets Shinobi to drop, that would be a decent way in. Knows where Annihilation is as well. BO5 off land, gets that kill. Martin knows that Shinobi's there somewhere. He's crossed out towards the other side of main though, so CZ in score with the AK, looks up and he's back towards that cubby position. Martin gets the kill on Shinobi to a 3-on-2 situation. Wow, Nate's to his position though, should take him down, so even standing will come through as the bomb plant ready to come down here from Wings Up.
And 2 versus 2, and 2 AKs on the CT side. Things looking pretty good for D13, but now Chalking is going to be stepping up. Wild spray to get a couple of kills. And, well, Wings Up, they recovered in the end there. Very decent attempt from D13. Certainly in a position where that was very winnable. But the post plant being successful for the T side, and Wings Up, Jay, being able to now take a lead for the first time in this entire map.
Indeed they are. On the back foot for the first half, brought it so close to a lead at the end of the last half, but obviously only able to get to that 8-7 at their disadvantage. Now 9-8 as D13 try and respond with another eco round. The MAC-10 in for Gas, not going to be a massive loss here for the T side, but as land falls, that'll start to look a little bit more awkward. These 2 AKs on DD and Chalking got to do the heavy lifting, and they are going to be keeping their eyes on that backline. A Galil to work with for Heiska. It's going to be the worst part about it. Martin coming up again against Tamir, gets that frag, 2 pistols down here. The backstab's very awkwardly held together against 1. Gets that second kill in the end. Martin deals with Heiska and Annihilation. Does come out with 1 good USP pick, so 3 casualties sustained by the T side. Going in for a little bit more, try to get up some $600 kills. Sees 2. Double face, Wings Up. 10-8 now, double digits to the board.
I'll tell you what another fantastic eco round to come out from D13. Now, that wasn't a force buy. They only upgraded a little bit, so they get away with 3 kills, which is really going to hurt the economy for Wings Up if they lose this. On single round loss bonus, especially if they don't get a bomb plan and lose the round, they're going to be in a world of trouble. Chalking's really the only person with DD with money on this T side. Annihilation going with the AWP investment. Now a 2-round lead for Wings Up as they finally get to the double-digit margin. A score looking to try and peek in towards this ramp. Control flash coming in, but it's going to be Chalking with this opening kill. I'll tell you what, he stepped up in the early few rounds on this T side.
Yeah, I think all the rounds have at least seen a kill or 2 from him so far for Wings Up on this T side. So that's a good entry fragger you've got in your hands, and he'll be able to overwhelm D13, forcing him to go back passive here on the A side. It's still 3 players to contact against the default plays. A lot of utility, a lot of noise being made over on this side of the map. Wings Up definitely looking to commit towards the A play here.
AWP a little bit early to the trigger, and Tamir is looking to try and go aggressive with a teammate of Shinobi, and it actually works out. They're using no utility, and Shinobi finds 3. How is this happening with absolutely no util? Tri-faces in, and now Gas can try and backstab out from B, but this has been shut down completely.
They got bomb control, so 1v3 for Gas now being seen. Rotations to get the kill. Heavy investment round as well from the T side, so they're going to get shut down just as quickly by D13 in with their first of the half. Rifles out of plenty, of course, for the CT side. The buy's not going to be looking confident, I don't think, for Wings Up. We'll see exactly what they get in a moment's time, but yeah, 1 player basically turned it around. If Shinobi was shut down earlier on, if someone was watching out that that alleyway entrance, that could have been a very different story, I feel like, for Wings Up. 2 AKs coming in on what is essentially a half-buy round, a very awkward half-buy, but half-buy nonetheless here from the T's.
It's still double eco. Like, Wings Up can't afford to buy in the next round. They'll only get 1900, so they'll need to be making sure that this round's as expensive as possible. DD fast out towards the B stairs to get that opening kill. Now, the trade does go back for Tamir, but now he's stuck in a bomb site. He keeps trying to fight. 49 HP. He needs some support. And the rotations, Jay, they're just not there.
Gonna fick for it. 4v3 found now by Wings Up. 2 AKs in tow still. And a couple of rifles on the site itself. Nade down against Gas's position. Should drop him? No, he doesn't actually evades it. Holding back towards quad. Score gets land to fall. Now they've all got rifles here for the T side. Incendiary is coming in a little bit late. Martin will go forward off. Angle takes that face, loses his life as a result. So Score getting it to a 3-on-2. Burst through from Gas. Needs to get a frag back now. He's all left to Child King. 1-on-3. Many a multi-frag round for him. He started things off with this first here in the post plant. Needs Score to face up. Spray does not line up against the AWP. And Annihilation comes up with a kill for it. can turn a 10th back to the favor of the CT side.
Oh, another big clutch to come out from Annihilation, and I tell you what, Child King was making that interesting. It looked like a point that he was going to be able to convert that 1 versus 3. And you've got to think, too, with getting that bomb plan in for Wings Up, it is actually going to allow a buy investment. If they didn't have that bomb plan, it probably would have been another half buy. They would have been, like, forcing Galils to get utility. There would have been a lot of players with AK and armor, and that's it. So Wings Up can be very happy with the damage that they've done. D13 taking a tactical of their own. And we saw as well, Jay, in, across the water, just a little bit over in Oceania, just a few minutes before, that Vertex were able to clinch that grand final victory in going all 5 maps. And certainly sort of looking at this series, we've had, at least with the scoreline, relatively close on Overpass. We're getting into at least the late stages now of this a second map, and it's still very close. I mean, the scoreline tied up at 10 rounds each.
Yeah, and this time it's not a massive comeback from a 13-4, so like it's actually been a relatively decent contest. Annihilation, what? Can you floor bang through that?
Yeah, trying it.
I mean, I know that there's that wall bang on the outside of outside of Squeak Door over on Nuke that the Aussies were able to bring out in the Pro League qualifiers, which is the only one I really remember. I didn't know Vertigo had those as well. No kills for it, no tag damage. There's Child King taking out Tamir. Lang gets a good kill of his own right. Haska comes up good towards the site, but only a single frag though, so Gas finds his trade and a 4-on-2 can ensue. Annihilation up towards the site, looking to the default plant, smokes away. And look at DD here to the mid control. He hears rotations, will cut them off, try to take the exits away. Annihilation does scope in, catch that player off, but that was a rotation out, and I have a feeling that D13 are going to save off the back of this call.
Yeah, look, even with that kill, going for it's just such a tough ask, especially when they know how limited they are in the economy basis. A great shot from Annihilation. You thought that DD was at least going to be able to catch off one of the rotators. He was in such a great position, but a fast flick from Annihilation means that they're going to have some trouble if they want to try and take down these 2 players. They'll have to go hunting. Wings Up, though, going to take back the control. Taking the lead now with 11 rounds. And you look at the money from the CT side and you think, right, 1900 next round, 2 players staying alive. Do they want to force around it? I mean, it might even be beneficial just to half buy. Like, if they force here, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see a force. Like, it could be on the cards with 2 players staying alive, but I think a half buy is a much safer decision.
Yeah, I'm in agreement in that respect. The CT side, I mean, if they kept maybe 2 or 3 rifles in, I would have seen potentially, the opportunity for force up, but...
If there was 3, then I'd say yeah. But with 2, the math just doesn't work out. That it doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense.
Yeah, just the AWP and the AK saved in, so let's see what Annihilation and Score can do with it, but USPs, a 5-7 for Hasker is going to come through. So they have a little bit of firepower to work with over on the CT side, D13. Playing up and around a very spread out default style. 2 rotators coming in towards the A site will stack up this position. I mean, they've got Hasker already pushed up towards the stairs area, I think, but behind that boost spot, that run boost area. 2 taps from Tamir catches Child King at least. That's an opening frag found, but Martin there with a quick trade back on the AK. So pistol doing some damage, but still a 4-on-4.
Kind of surprised too that they actually flash in the USP rather than the AWP or the AK. But look, it's still a 1-for-1 trade, so they do decent damage. Does Gas check the angle?
Oh,
the
no.
5-7's going to wait. The 5-7's going to wait. Now the bomb's coming in.
Perfect chance. He's going to sneak in. Tap through, takes the bomb planter down. Haste car with the most patient play. Snacks will be proud. Lan and DD, last 2 standing, 4 Wings Up, and they're so out-positioned, so out of dodge. This is going to be 11 up for D13.
Wow, what a play. That was such a huge moment there for the CT side. And now DD's alone. He's in a 1-on-3. He's picked up the bomb. Can he deal with the player towards a quad position? Does he get the information? He may have just seen the dual into the site. A score. Great frag. I just can't believe that. The trigger discipline, fantastic. I mean, he had an opportunity of finding 1 kill, probably just getting traded, but he waits for 2, and the 5-7 just claims that round all by himself.
Such a powerful position for a CT player. No one, and I mean no one, checked that position. They were so focused on the site players and the players that could be up the top of stairs that little corner. Man. AK's in for score, dealt with by DD. Samir gets gas over towards the B site play, so he 4-on-4. That nade should finish off DD at the stage. Actually, that's a bit too far away, so doesn't take any damage for it, but AK recovering for Martin. Let's see what he can try and do with it, but I don't imagine there'll be much out for this eco round of Wings Up.
This AK is going to have to be sort of the brute of the offensive. Shinobi, is he going to get caught off guard? He is. Wide swing comes out for Martin, and now they've pretty much opened up this bomb site. Annihilation finds one with the NMP. He's able to fall back, but now it's a retake setup. The bomb plan's going to come through, but it is a man disadvantage for the T's.
The 3-on-2. Money bonus flowing into the next round. The M4 will see what he can do here for Lan. Now Martin in the clutch scenario. See if we can replicate what Child King has been able to do so far in this matchup for him. Flash evaded, turns around with a spray, runs forward with it, throws off the accuracy. Hayes can get a simple kill. 3 for Tamir, and 12 to the board of D13, reclaiming their lead back against Wings Up. But again, for an eco round, not too bad to get a bomb plant in. Money bonus should bolster up a decent rifle.
Yeah, not bad at all for Wings Up. They'll be really pleased with how much damage they were able to do in that last round. Now, you look at the money in terms of the reserve from both teams, and you're sort of thinking for Wings Up, yeah, with losing a few rounds in a row, it does mean that their loss bonus is starting to at least spiral up, but it's still really not great for the T side, where D13 have been able to build up a bit of a bank, really trying to keep this economy strong. Fast out to the Ram default again for the T side. Shinobi's very aggressive, and he's able to catch out Lan as well, getting aggressive. So for D13, they've been able to really cinch this Ram control away, and they've even got to play it very aggressive. But now DD's trying to make a way out through mid, but can't find anything.
Score's still aggressive as well towards his Ram position. He'll opt to push even further forward out of this angle. So the T's are basically going to get followed in towards the B site, and Haze's so ready for this. Score probably, I mean, he might be able to get a good kill actually. No one's keeping his eyes on. I mean, the trade will be easy enough, but even so, just pushing further forward here towards this stairs area. They haven't checked their sidelines. He's seen all three once again. Looking to try and line them up. Gets that first and that second. Hayes actually gets that frag in return, but Gas on low HP can get the trade and no more. 4 alive for the CT side. And D13 are the ones now coming alive on the defensive.
Yeah, D13, they've got the rounds when it counts, right? You know, we saw the early stages of this second half. Wings Up won the pistol, won the anti-eco conversion, got that 3-0 start, and then we sort of saw them take a bit of a lead. They're up 10-8. We were thinking, okay, you know, maybe this is a chance that Wings Up win out their opposition's map pick. But D13 have won the crucial rounds. We're seeing some big plays being made. The trigger discipline has been absolutely fabulous to watch, and now Wings Up are in another eco.
Incendiaries in, Tech9, CZ spamming. Potential here for the, I would call it a half ban under most circumstances, but Wings Up have gone quite heavy into this. There are players on $800. Wrap around will make their way up and into the B site play. Hayes was so ready for this. 1 frag found, 2 frags found. Spray does not carry on towards the third, but either way, he's done his damage. Tamir now standing with the AK. Backed up behind the platform, AWP, so there's supporting damage being done. They do overwhelm that one individual, but Annihilation there with a good frag. Score gets the Knights picked back up. Bomb's going to get picked up, trying to get past Child King. I say somebody's going to pick back, and the second almost clutches it against Shinobi, but Shinobi with the AK goes one better with a wallbang headshot, and a 14-11 for D13.
Honestly, some of these ecos are looking better than the gun rounds for Wings Up. That was so down to the wire, and for Hazecar, honestly, he only needed to get like 1 kill from that aggressive B stairs control, because the information was so much more vital. He heard them wrapping in, the rotations came in really quickly, they were able to stack up that B bomb side, and Child King comes alive again. Unfortunately, not enough to be able to win out the 1 versus 3. And D13 are 2 rounds away, Jay, from taking us to nuke. You've got to think for Wings Up, what have they got left in the tank here?
We've got AKs in tow for this 26th round at the very least. Indeed, he comes up with that opening kill on score towards the mid-control. The B-site play is coming in thick and fast. Martin's going to get shut down. They're still focusing on that mid-control, but Heisker able to take out 1 as a result. DD gets Tamir to 4, and Animal's Quad. He's going to force forward again. Heisker on the B-site defense is shut down what Wings Up are brought to the table. And where do they go from here? DD looking lost. Child King rotating out the position.
What?
Backed up here towards the stairs lower portion. 3 on 2. D13 are in such good control here.
Yeah, and you've got to think that surely they can't lose this. Like, there's just no way that this is possible to come back from Wings Up. You've got DD low, and Child King's having a bit of a hard lurk out to this B stairs area. Maybe a chance to trade out with the AWP, and that's exactly what's going to happen. That's going to bring the attention over from Shinobi. That now allows the mid flank to come through.
On being dropped, DD moves in, sees 1. No one's checked that position. All left to Heisker now, still sitting at quad. Are they ready for this? Yes, they are. Child King and DD playing with the most patient of plays, and do manage to turn the situation around now within 2 of D13's lead.
And honestly, that was so well played to come out from Wings Up. You see Child King aggresses in the B stairs, takes down the AWP, pulls the distraction away from Shinobi, and then that allows DD to make a play out from Connector, and from there, they've now got a 2-on-1. They can just peek on each other's contact. That's a beautiful round. That was very, very well played from Wings Up, and D13, they'll be pretty annoyed that they didn't convert that. On paper, that should have been an easy 15. And now Wings Up, they're coming back with at least a bit of a charge. A MAC-10 in for Gas with AKs for the rest of them. 3 players stacked into the A bomb site, only playing 1 at B. An opportunity for Wings Up if they could take down this B anchor to just run into the site.
Burst through the M4 from Mars of Heisker, facing in, still gets a kill with the flashbang of Tamir. This guy on the B site is honestly one of the solid rocks of this squad. Gas will catch off Annihilation's AWP, though 2 more to see. Backs are turned for score. Martin can line them both up as a result. And now Tamir quits the rotation. Now M4 standing by. Spray's going to go awkward against both of the players that face the corner. Damage done, no frags. Bomb plant, Heisker in a 1 versus 3.
Oh, man. Martin steps up when it counts. We see Gas being the one on the entry with that MAC-10, finds that opening kill, and then the trades just come through from Martin, just opens up that B side. And you're absolutely right. Heisker over at B has been making so many plays, solo plays too. That's the big thing, is he's not really even having too much support from his teammates. Yeah, that's a great flash assist to come out from Tamir for the peak, but the majority of rounds of him playing at B, he's been by himself, and he's been doing the majority of the damage. Wings Up, though, going to convert their 13th. And you've got to think for D13, with no economy, they're going to have to eco with this safety in AK. They can't force the issue here.
Yeah, tactical pause going to have to come through for the CT side to figure things out, because this could be map point for Wings Up. How do you approach this? You mentioned there's probably going to have to be a force spike coming in from the CT side. It's probably going to have to be some sort of decent weaponry, even if the pistols of the Kevlar comes out, because it could lead to even more damage if they don't do so. I'm only seeing no buys coming in from the CT side, though. I haven't got the hard information. Eco. It's a harsh eco? Alright, well, that might harm them a bit.
Yeah, look, it would have been a risk to go for the force buy. At least this way they know they're going to get rifles out. They've got a single AK, the pistols. might take a little bit of time to do damage, but oh my goodness, Trade, they've now been able to find 3 kills, and it's a man advantage. Get all the AKs you can on the CT side. Lance been able to open up B, but he has to check Kenobi. You are kidding me. Don't tell me they're going to lose to another eco. TD in a 1 versus 3. He's got the bomb on his back. Play around towards CT. Oh, man. What is going on? How is that 1? And now they're on map point for D13.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I can't believe they just won that round. But to be fair, with the number of ecos we've seen so far in this series, it probably shouldn't have surprised me that much. D13, 15-13 now up against the Rifles of the Wings upside. A heavy force investment with Deagles up in case of Martin and Child King. 3 rifles set in place for the T-Sider for a great game so far. Need 2 to try and make the comeback happen, but I don't know if they can really do that.
And that may have just shot their confidence completely. We should have been at 14-14. And now D13 are 1 round away from converting Vertigo. What can Wings Up bring? 2 players on Deagles for Martin and Child King. And D13 playing really, really passive again at this A bomb site. Look at Haystar getting aggressive over at the B stairs. He's got an opportunity to continue this aggression, but he's got the info that there's really nothing at B.
5 seconds boost up from 1 player here. Looking over towards the ramp position there. Score with that kill. Tamir and Ian get the initial couple of trades going together. So 4 versus 3 favors the CT side. The bomb can make its way up. The AWP can't land its shot. So Child King dealt with. AK taps and sprays towards the bomb plant position. Doesn't get that frag nor damage done to Martin. And 8 does a bit better. Now a 3-on-2 favors the CT side. Ian needs to chime in with something back here. He needs to get some sort of response. The Molotov's towards the position, going to force him out to the open. Flashbang keeps him blind. He's seen and taken down. Martin left alone. 1v3. Bomb's been tapped. This is over. This is going to be 16-13 for D13. And at the very last hurdle, Wings Up. They're the ones to have the choke.
I'll tell you what, Jay, look, it comes down sometimes to the crucial rounds, and you would expect normally the crucial rounds to be the ones that are the rifles, but it's the eco that trumps them up, and sometimes, you know, the simple rounds, if you lose them, can have such a big follow-on effect, and that's exactly what happens in the late stage of Vertigo. D13 win out their map pick, the exact same scoreline as it was on Overpass, another 16-13 this time around over to the Mongolians. And I'll tell you what, Jay, you know, much more of a contest on Vertigo. We didn't see a one-sided performance followed up by another one-sided performance. It was back and forward, and for D13, they were able to pull it out in the end.
Indeed they were. But you can't help but feel like Wings Up should have been gifted an opportunity at least to go to that match point. Those eco pistols can be so deadly, it feels like, from the Mongolian side, and it's definitely going to edge them over as they take their map pick and now look to take the lead in this series above Wings Up. Nukes is our follow-up map here in the best of 5. And it was picked by Wings Up, so let's see how well they will control as we go towards a short break and look to see whether Wings Up can turn their fortunes around afterwards. So do not go anywhere. The third map of our best of 5 will be coming up after this very short break.
With the right CPU, you can turn any game from familiar to phenomenal. Unleash the potential in all your gaming with Intel 10th Gen processors. With its optimal balance of threads, cores, and frequency to deliver elite real-world performance, only Intel can bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game PC optimizations. Supercharge your Marvel's Avengers experience with Intel Core i5, i7, and i9 processors.
On Intel Extreme Master Certified PCs, you'll find a gold badge. It means you'll find brilliance inside, that you'll get high-grade components like Intel Core i7 and i9 processors that'll deliver the uncompromised performance you need to game like a pro. Not to mention, every purchase supports the prize pool of Intel Extreme Masters. Intel, unleash your brilliance.
My name is Trace Saranthus. I am building a PC for Jordan Gilbert.
My goal was really to get something that was no compromise, super powerful, and ideally not built by Trace.
Yes, thank you so much, Jordan Gilbert. You know, we don't make mistakes around here. We made happy accidents.
I get a booster seat here. Enter now for a chance to win one of 3 PCs built by me, Jason, or Trace.
Tell me everything's alright. Life is just a bunch of faces, and if it's not, we'll still be fine. I know we're going places. I don't care too much. I don't care too much. As long as I can keep you by my side. I don't care too much. We got time, no rush. In your eyes, I always see there is something meant for me. In your eyes, I always feel different. In your eyes, I always see there is something meant for me. In your eyes, I always feel different. Under peach yellow skies, dreaming big and aiming high. Name the clouds passing by, wishing we run away. All we need is our passports, baby. Leave the rest in our troubled minds. Let us go down in laughter, baby. Trying to figure out what we're after. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after. Book a plane, fly away. We will never be the same. And as long as you are mine, come on and run away. We wanna run away. We don't need any reasons, baby. Leave it all for the faded hearts. I don't mind if they call us crazy, 'cause they don't understand what we're after. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after. We're no kids no more. I need to feel alive in this dreadful town. I'm running out of time, and as long as you're mine, I wanna run away. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after. see the signs and I see we're there. And I feel the lies and I feel the sand. Forever hold, no matter if we cast away a fire in the dark. I know that you won't be waiting again. Right from the start, I see the end. A world torn apart, but I know we're meant. Forever hold, no matter if we cast away a fire in the dark. I know that you won't be waiting again. Sitting on a bench, waiting for the time to pass, dreaming of what happens next. I see what I wanna be, questioning my destiny, only knowing what I see. I don't even realize I've already made a path, and I can change it anytime. I can't take it back. I know what I want, but it seems so damn far away. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. I know I empower those who dream like me. And you say you wanna be somebody. You got a voice, then you better use it. Tell yourself day after day it's time to prove it. No days off, keep the hustle moving. Wanna see you be what you wanted to be, prove it. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. I know I empower those who dream like me.
Intel Extreme Masters is brought to you in part by Intel, Acer Predator, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, DHL, and GG Bet.
Somebody
Welcome back to the grand finals here for the IEM Beijing Asia qualifiers. We're into our third map between D13 and Wings Up, as we've seen them go blow for blow on their respective map picks. Wings Up winning their pick of Overpass 16-13. Vertigo going the way of D13, who picked it also 16-13. And Nuke being the secondary pick of the Wings Up side. Now, Dweg, we've seen the best of these teams. We've definitely seen the worst of them as well. How do we weigh up Nuke coming into this one here?
Well, look, the first thing that I look at straight away, now, with Overpass and Vertigo, you have a look at the officials maps played for both these teams, and really haven't played a lot. I mean, Vertigo was the exception that it really hadn't been played at all. Overpass was very little. So going into maps like Nuke and Train for the sort of third and fourth map in this best of 5, it tells me that it's going to be a little bit more cleaner. I think it can be a little bit more one-sided too for the respective map picks, rather than a very close down to the wire like your 16-13s that we've had so far. So look, coming into Nuke, it is Wings Up map pick, but D13, I mean, it's the map that they play the most in the map pool. It's a very strong win percentage, so there is still a chance for there to be a bit of a challenge, and I think there will for the rest of the series.
Yeah, I feel like there will be. You know, I still think that it's based on the fact, obviously, that the maps were very, very close. We saw D13 go 11-4 up on Overpass, so I was thinking from that they might be able to have a simple 3-0 series. But right now, D13 are a single map away from victory here in the grand finals. They can take Nuke, they can take this whole thing and move to the main event of IEM Beijing. Pistol round out was Wings Up, go to the T side, start obviously map pick, therefore side pick goes the way of D13, and they're going to opt to start on CT. Hasker gets the kill on land. DD and Shinobi getting 2 more frags back. They make their way in towards the site and out towards Decon, where the T's will aggress further forward against D13, force them back to a 3-on-2 situation. Shinobi with his back turn towards one player, swings 180, gets Martin, and Child King will find that trade. Annihilation, thinking it might be an A-Rap, and indeed it is. Back up through vents and a bomb plant down for gas.
Annihilation on for the clutch. We've seen him be able to pull these out with the AWP in his hands. This time around, it's only going to be a USP. That's the first. And now that makes this exchange a little bit more easier. 1 versus 1. He's opting Child King, and he's going to be able to win it out. D13 clutching out the 1 versus 2 to be able to claim the pistol round. A very, very nice clutch there at all from Annihilation, making it work. And for Wings Up, look, it was a really nice challenge towards that lower bomb site. Rather than getting that bomb down immediately, they look to try and take some fights. They aggress out from single door and double and bring that bomb to the upper bomb site. They look like they're pretty comfortable, but in the end, D13 stash it away.
Yeah, nice pistol going in the favour of the CT cap. And Wings Up. A very awkward stance as a result of that. They get a bomb plant out a bit, and again, the buy is going to be a little bit sort of lopsided. They're going for these hero rifles quite frequently between both sides, actually. So they haven't really worked all that well. I mean, it's mostly just down to the entry fragger trying to get into the in with a Galil or an AK, but they're unable to actually get the entry frags. And then the pistol's just going to crumble around it here. And I'm not really all that convinced by the buy-ups here on these force investments. Well, Gas going to try to prove me wrong with the tech line dropping in against Tamir. Annihilation will get the kill back. Ian does time with 1 good frag and score with the FAMAS on site. Only gets 1 of his own, so the trades have been good for the T side. 3-on-2 scenario gain. Rifles recovered. Annihilation barely winning that fight against Child King, and the bomb plant can be secured.
And the glue hasn't even needed to come up yet. It's all been the pistols to find these opening exchanges. Now into a 2 versus 2. Now, Annihilation is quite low, and Martin with the FAMAS is going to be able to deal with him. Now the swing to come out from DD, peeking on each other's contact. And, well, the force buy working out for Wings Up, and I mean, you can kind of call it a half force buy. They upgrade the Galil onto DD, but outside of that, it's a couple of upgraded pistols for the rest of the team, and they make it work. They pick up rifles from the CT side. They're making sure they're peeking on each other's contact, not offering up a lot of those 1v1s, and it all started off with Gas finding that opening kill out from main, and that helps the execution into that upper bomb site.
Even standing in the first couple of rounds, again Wings Up forcing the issue. Now D13 will do the same, this time without any hero rifles. The Eagles in for 4 players, immediately dealt with for LAN. Annihilation will get the trades back here towards the garage area, sees another player back of the red box, but will not be able to catch him, not able to get that kill back. No tag damage to that player. And Hasker swings in with his own deagle, sees Martin waiting for backup for a flash. No, actually just going to get shut down. There's no flash or utility to use here for the D13 side. Investing all their money behind the pistols and the Kevlar. Score gets dealt with towards the outside, controlling the secret. Gas can split in. Meanwhile, they made their way through ramp. The bomb plant can be secured.
And for D13, I mean, it might as well just be worth holding on to these two weapons of the Deagle and the CZ. I mean, to go for it when you know you're on a force buy, how much... Are you going to make this retake possible? Probably not in a 2-on-4, so I think best bet is to hold on to it. I mean, they're even standing around this ramp control to try and look for some exits. Wings up. They're going to convert their second round in a row, so D13 won't have too much of an investment to follow. Annihilation. If he takes down Child King, a chance to pick up that AK and bring it into the next round, so not bad at all. Unfortunately, his teammate falling means that at most, Jay, they can only keep one player alive.
Yeah, and with the force buy-in, there's going to have to stay alive to have something back in for the next round. Of course, is going to be the eco. You can contest against it and, of course, have themselves a decent rifle set. But in this next round, there's not going to be anything really coming out for the CT side. Again, just that upgrade pistol, just that upgrade Kevlar on that one player that saves it. And wings up. Having the USPs and the Eagles in for everybody else. So, basic set in. AK's out, AUG in for Master, in for DD and Child King. Gat's going to see one player get aggressive, and immediately the rifles get involved here. Annihilation finds that one pick, but he and Tamir get dealt with. Gas with 3 picks, trying to make it 4. Shinobi does grab one more AK back for the CT camp. The bomb plant can make its way towards the the A site, I should say. And Shinobi just left to get exit frags.
DD should be a simple kill for him, and it is a throw on the board now for Wings Up. Now, one thing we haven't really touched on, Jay, is, of course, the head-to-head game that D13 have taken on against 1-3 before they rebranded over to Wings Up. About 5 months ago in the Weeaboo Cup Asia Championship, where it was a best-of-3 that did go the way of D13. Now, what's very interesting is that Nuke and Train were a part of that series that went the respected way of Nuke for D13 and Train for 1-3. Which are the next 2 maps of the series, or this one and the next one, if we end up going for it. So certainly a few contests in the past. And D13 putting Annihilation very quickly to that lower bomb site to rotate in to that secret position. Heiska holding the ramp entrance. Lack of utility for the CT side. No kits too, so they get the gun round out, but they are quite limited.
Damage done to Heiska initially, 20 points of health forced off of the ramp controller. Tries to take out a smoke here. Some of the idea is to go towards the site itself, but holds an aggressive angle that Martin can deal with very quickly. 56 HP for him, so the M4 does do something. A score peeking away at the wrong moment, taking damage back at the decon door. Shinobi is dealt with by Gaps. Child King is going to go falling, but DD finds the trade and scores. Tamir still left in play. Going to try to find that bomb plant into the back of the site, but does not see him. And spray through from Gas makes his way around the event entrance, leaving Annihilation left alone in a 1 versus 4 to save his weapon. Once again, Wings Up have overwhelmed, and already a tactical pause is being called here by the D13 side. They've realised this start is definitely not what they wanted to be here.
Yeah, and look, for Wings Up, right, we've seen them pick Nuke a lot in the closed qualifier and even in the open qualifier against Lin Vision, Tiger, and Sigma. They picked Nuke in those best-of-3s, so we have seen them put a lot of success into this map, at least in terms of the picking game, in terms of the veto. And D13 don't want to get off to a slow start. Annihilation going to hold on to this AWP out to CT spawn, and is going to be able to hold on to it. Gas tried to go hunting, but wasn't successful in doing so. And now a tactical pause up for the CT side. Now, it has been 4 in a row for Wings Up, so I kind of do like that the tactical pause has come in pretty early, Jay.
Yeah, much earlier than previous maps as well. So, you know, I'm kind of shocked it didn't come out earlier from previous, map-ups in the series. But here we are. CT side with their first tactical being taken. Trying to figure out where they approach this whole next thing. I mean, they have got potential to force the buy up, but the loss bonuses are going to be quite there for them. The AKs, the AWP is in for the T side. See if the AWP backed up here for the CT camp of things, and no, it's just a half buy around this one rifle. Hero rifles in for D13 once again here. Wings Up fast into the lobby control. Tamir is towards the outside. Annihilation with the AWP will start taking contact here towards Squeak Door.
To me, it's very aggressive outside, so maybe a potential to try and catch one of the T-side players off guard. And it really, if they don't establish this outside control and time starts to dwindle down, then there's a chance for him to aggress, and that's exactly what he's going to try and do. Gas is waiting for that. He is waiting for the over-aggression to come through. The thing is, though, how long is Gas going to hold this angle for? Because Wings Up are looking like they want to set themselves up for an upper execution.
Over the CZ, so close, point-blank positions. Would he catch the angle? Would he pre-fire it? Preempts it while it was outside. Samir is going to be falling first to Gas. Shinobi sees contact, and this is the shock of his life as he sees 3 players over that position, and probably going to call in the stack up. One player wrapping out to the back line. The 5-7 does do damage to DD, but DD comes up with the frag. Annihilation watching with the AWP push up, wallbang damage done to score. They definitely heard that. Bomb making its way up as they can go down towards the B site if they so desire. That's exactly where Martin will go. Plant secured, 5-on-2. And there's no real way in for Annihilation in score, mostly to save their Kevlar and the AWP once again in this round.
I'll tell you what, if they actually save out towards City Sport, this is a chance for the AWP. Down. I mean, they try to check the angle. DD is going to go. So that's actually an AUG that can be picked up. So not bad at all for Nico. They only had that single rifle investment in of that AWP. Wings Up, what a unique way of being able to establish a bit of squeaky control, right? I mean, a lot of the time when T's are taking squeaky, they normally line themselves up, so as soon as the door opens, they either smoke off main, or maybe they smoke close vent, and there's a flashbang to follow it out towards the rafters on the top side. But there's just 3 T-side players waiting that as soon as they open up that door, it's just instant death to the CT side. So for D13, they don't convert the round, but they do get away with an extra rifle, so I think they can be pretty happy with how that round turned out.
Yeah, some upgrades to go into the next buy up with. Obviously, the M4s will be coming in. AUG out for score. The AWP still on Annihilation. This time he's playing in towards the ramp control, not aggressing towards the lobby position as he was in the last round. The Wings Up not going for any inside control. One player we left there to lurk, but it smokes up. Fast plays out towards the secret areas. Going to go quickly into the B side, it seems.
What is kind of interesting, though, is like the front of the pack made noise while the rest of them didn't. So half went silent, half didn't. Annihilation, the volley down towards double doors is going to force him back, but he goes in for a peek, doesn't quite hit the shot, but gets the information that he's under a lot of pressure towards his lower bomb site. There is a rotation in from the ramp entrance, but it's DD outside that's going to find a pick, and there's so many mind games here for Wings Up, because now they're looking to try and hit upper.
Wrap around, the CTs weren't expecting it, and those 3 picks come in one by one. So much damage done to Child King in particular, the player with 2 frags, but no chance to get killed off. The CT's facing against the high HP players as Gas gets frags out towards the B lower areas, and Hazeker's left alone towards the locker rooms. A 1-on-5. This is an easy round for Wings Up. 6-1 to the T-side board.
And I don't want to be too harsh, Jay, but like I certainly feel as if the first 2 maps of the series haven't really been tactical heavy. And what I mean by that is like a lot of the peaks have just been very dry. It's been pretty scrimmy, pretty puggy, but this T-side has got a long level of complexion from Wings Up. They look really comfortable. They've got their strap looks really deep. They're getting so much map control on the T-side. They're pulling out so many fakes, so many mind games. They're going outside to secret, and then they've got to lurk upper, and then they're going upper, but you think they're going lower. And D13 just literally have no idea what's going on. They don't know where is this bomb going.
Yeah, no good reads on the CT side. No good rounds so far. I mean, they've had that one earlier, but I believe there's the pistol round since then. It's just been Wings Up all the way. Early domination of this T-side line from this T-side based team. But some really good win rates so far on this map in the past. A good reason why Wings Up have picked it. Orb of Annihilation in one of the double orb setups here from the CT camp. Unable to find that first pick. Blind at the smoke, so not much coming through for the moment. And Wings Up just playing around this position, just waiting and baiting for contact.
Tamir's given his position away towards the lower bomb site, so he's going to have to reposition out towards the decontamination single door. Wings up again. Like, this outside control has come in round after round after round. We've seen vent dives, we've seen secret control, but they've still got lurks out through lobbies, so you still don't even know if this is going to be a lower play. Tamir dealt with. DD of the lurk on upper is going to be at least exchanged out from Shinobi, and the AWP goes in for a peek and drops that bomb. That was a really awkward exchange, and now there's a way back in for the CTs.
Orb is forced off angle for the moment. A 3-on-3 scenario being gained. No smoke to that initial cross though, so Child King can't get out of main and pick up that bomb. It will get picked up instead by Martin, who makes his way out towards the B-site presence. They haven't got access to this. Well, they've got access to this side. They haven't got control of it just yet. They're going to open up Decon. Fakes out the score there, ready with the AWP to lock onto Martin. Drop that bomb for a second time on the AWP. Clock is ticking away and Wings up. Don't know where to play this. Child King aggressing towards the ace site. This is going to be a small wraparound rotation. It have got enough time for it, but Haze K here towards main, and they have no idea. Gas going to get sprayed up, shut down. Child King left with the AK in tow. Takes that fight, does win it out against 1. 2 standing for the CT side, but the AWP stay in play, and it's going to be a second for D13.
Look, bit of a misread there coming out from Wings up. They had a player towards the upper bomb site that came out undetected. They thought, right, let's just bring the bomb up and just try and see if we can get an easy bomb plant, but Hazecut just in a perfect position to deny the entire round. And look, a bit of a questionable decision. The AWP to peek out from secret with just absolutely no teammates or any utility. As soon as that bomb gets dropped, it just gives so much information up for D13. It limits the amount of map control. It slows down the momentum in the round. And the CTs finally put a second on the board, and as soon as the double orbs come out, Jay, they find some success, and now going forward into round 9, it's Annihilation to find the opener, and Child King has not seen the player towards top rafters, but the bomb's been dropped again.
Moments of confidence, it feels like, between these two teams. The sequences of rounds that come good for their respective squads. D13 finding themselves on the high tide, but Lan is bringing us back. 3 picks so far up in heaven. His back's got to get turned around because there is going to be Shinobi that swings out, gets that M4 spray and leaves it all to DD. Good 3 kills for Lan though, bringing us back from the brink, allowing DD even a chance at this. A minute to the clock here, and this AK will move up from vents. Bomb dropped in lobby, so he's got a bit of work to do.
He really does. 1 versus 2. Now, the bombs sort of dropped in trophies, so with the CTs playing pretty passive, there's just a way for him to pick up the bomb, go upper, drop into the vents to the lower bomb site. And D13 do not have eyes on this bomb control. Instead, a bit of a crossfire being set very deep into the ramp entrance. DD, where does he go? Does he go in for the vent dive? Does he wrap to the A bomb site? It looks like he wants to hit upper.
Molotov in on Shinobi's part of things. He's going to fake it out towards upper instead, as you mentioned, going through those vents, being very slow and careful about this. Both players are out here towards the spawn and in the outside position, so they hear those decon doors open up, they'll realise quickly what's going on. DD in with a clutch chance. The scope up, the M4 make his way in, do that damage. See that player contact in towards the vents area. He knows that Shinobi's right there. Takes point blank face, but the M4 comes up good. 3 kills for Shinobi, secures the 3rd round for D13.
And what's really vital in how D13 make that retake possible, Jay, is how quickly the rotations come through. Not like before DD even gets to the bomb site, they're already in rotation. They see the Molotov out towards heaven. They don't hear any more presence. They go, right, it's got to be a lower play. And for DD, he gets the bomb plant and tries to go back towards single door, and he gets seen. And from there, he has to try and take the fight into the vents position from Shinobi. And D13... now a couple rounds in a row, Jay, so they are starting to bring this deficit back. There's still so much money on the T side, so they might have to get another couple of good rounds in for D13 if they do want to destroy this economy completely for Wings Up.
And the money has been built up for the Wings Up side. They can continue to reinvest. Vibes continuing with the rifles coming in, aggression towards the outside control and the out yard. Tamir does not see the first player, does know that he's there roughly and backs up for it. Damage done to Martin and Didi. Push out and about towards the outside control. Players stacking up towards the ramp entrance for Wings Up. I've got a player to deal with over on that side of the map. I believe Shinobi is also quite aggressive over towards the ramp entrances, so Opportunities are available for the CT camps. The AKs will move forward. The AWP will watch it, and the M4 Shinobi backs up instead towards the rafters.
A very easy ramp control to come out from Wings Up. There's just no contest at all from D13. But it does look as if they maybe want to go back into lobby to try and take this upper bomb site. Lan making sure to check out all the angles with that AWP, waiting for a potential aggressive player. Into the upper execution, looks to be on the cards. And there's still 2 lurks, one from outside and one from ramp, while 3 players start to make their way out from Squeak Door.
Shinobi see Charles King takes out Martin as well. Bomb being dropped. AWP from Lan can respond, get that player to fall. Needs to do a lot of the heavy lifting though. His teammates are backed up outside of the outside of the main area. Can't take that fight in against Tamir. He wins it out. AWP slow facing, sees that second player and gets the kill for it. Annihilation deals with gaps, so it's all left to Land now. Bomb plant secure. The multiple force out the way. Ooh. This AWP is getting all the picks he needs. Goes back in, sees the shoulder bait, lands it on Annihilation. 6 points of health. Heiska sneaking up towards the outside. And moving around towards the right-hand side, the knife's in, making noise heard. The drop AWP trying to make his way away, but he gets on top of the silos and gets the kill for it, denying that clutch from Lan. But wow, what a play from him. 4 frags found to bring that back from the brink.
And look, that jump there, it's certainly one of the easier KZ jumps in the game, but under pressure in a 1 versus 1, it can sometimes be difficult to land. And I tell you what, Wings Up, they put so much emphasis on the lurk plays, right? You've got a late lurk out from ramp, a late lurk outside, and 3 players in through Squeaky. If they open up the bomb site and evenly trade, yeah, the lurks are going to be able to cut off some fantastic rotations, and they probably win out the round. They were in such a great position, but the play out from Squeaky does not work out. The M4 towards top rafters is able to find a hell of a lot of damage. Finally, some kills start coming through for Land to at least try and attempt to clutch. But D13, they're now starting to bring this back, Jay. 4-6, the deficit's now only a couple of rounds.
Yeah, D13, 6-1 down, bringing back 3. A real good spot here against the Wings Up side, but it will be Land to open up the kill count. Taking Tamir, with the AWP, capitalizing and turning that 5th frag to their board on the T-side cap. 60 seconds left here. Heiska's so far aggressive. Flashbang against this name. Will find that first player, but can't connect much damage. 78 points of health for Martin. Left in tow. 5-on-3. Annihilation with the AWP forced back out of hell. So he can't take that ramp control on his lonesome.
There's no one towards this lower bomb fight from the CT side. Finally, a rotation's going to come in towards the double doors. Smoke not landing exactly where they'd like it to come. But what can Score find? Looking to try and do some damage out from the radio room entrance. Annihilation's going to find one on the return. And they still lurk towards the upper bomb side. Child King dealing with Score. Now Gas chiming into the action. And Annihilation trying to save onto the AWP. That's not even going to happen. No weapons saved, no CTs alive, and a great 7th round for Wings Up to finally slow down the momentum a little bit from the CT side.
Yeah, good kill on the last player from the CT side. Well held together by Wings Up. Tactical pause going to be called here by D13, their 2nd of the game. Losing that momentum very early on, and with the damage that they were sustaining on the Wings Up side, unfortunately, I don't think the buy is going to be all that fantastic. So that might be partially about what this tactical was about here. It looks like they might just force up some pistols, but just leave it at that.
Yeah, it won't be a lot, will it? I mean, even for Shinobi, he's buying down to $0. So this maybe indicates a force buy. Now, not really sure what's going on here. That doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense to me because they're going to get 2,400 in the next round. The Shinobi's brought down to 0 and the rest of the teammates haven't forced. So I'm not sure what was said there over that pause, Jay, but certainly not the right words.
CZ in, the USP taken out first, seeing if Shinobi can do anything with his position out here. Smoke down towards the main entrance. Shinobi does force forward and actually get DD to drop. Score turns the Deagle around. Surely not. Child King returns it to a 3 versus 3, but like D13 have already done quite an amount of damage with an AK picked up as well. The Eagle continuing to face outside for score. Gas takes some damage, but doesn't lose his life yet.
And rather than going into secret, he actually backs off, so that could have been an exchange to get the AK out of play for Shinobi. And Score picking one up, 2 AKs on this CT side. Only 1 player with armor though. And walking out to this upper bomb site, it's pretty much open. No one here from the CT side. Now, there is a quick wrap from the heaven position. And Martin's incredibly low, Jay.
So is Shinobi, one of the 2 AKs in play. He's the only player with the Kevlar, though. Plant down for Child King, and he's going to try and get forced out initially. The Molotovs incendiaries will come through, and there goes Gast. Hasko with the Deagle, again, chiming in, doing damage. Bomb plant finally going to get forced out here. Martin sees the head of Score, trades it out. Good kill for Shinobi, returns, leaving it all to Child King in his own clutch scenario. 1v2 for the 3k overall. Deagle faces! And Hasko gets his own double up. D13, no rights to win that round, but still they managed to pull it off.
What a shot! That was ridiculous coming out for the Deagle, and yeah, you're absolutely right, that should not have been one, and, you know, maybe I can give a little bit of credit to Shinobi. I think it was a little bit of a mistake, him buying down with the CZ and armor, and a bit of miscommunication, but look, it works out, and D13 win a very, very big round to claim their 5th. Some excellent kills to come through. Wings up. Like, it's getting a little bit ridiculous how many times we've seen them fall to the ecos. I mean, in saying that, it has kind of gone both ways. Both teams have struggled when it comes to the pistol rounds, but that's a round that you should never lose to.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a disappointing result there for the Wings up side. They definitely did not want to concede that kind of a round. That's a round that they absolutely should not have done so. But D13 again chiming in heavy. Both teams are going to invest heavy into this next round. And the economy state the Wings up had built up has been sort of worn down by D13 as time has gone on. Even though they got a couple of good confident plays in the last couple of rounds. Still the rifles come in with a weak backup for Wings up. They need to get this one on the board if they want to maintain this lead.
Now, D13... nothing really aggressive from them. We're seeing the boost coming out for the ramp for the T side to try and get a bit of a sight line in. Bit of an off angle from LAN. But getting to 50 seconds, and we haven't really had any contact. There has not been any gunfights exchanged between the 2 sides. Very, very slow. And Wings up are going towards outside. Man, I'm a little bit surprised about this, considering how low the time is.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this call. This is going to be a last-second A wrap around, either that or a B rush.
Yeah.
How are they going to play this one out? Child King still lurking towards the short control into the squeak door, and they're going to make their way up right here. 20 seconds as they enter the secret control. Bomb making its way in first for DD. Could be a bit of a risk, but at this stage you need to get the bomb down first and foremost. One player out there towards the ramp is going to be pressed here by the T-side forces. Tamir does get gas before the bomb does go down in time, getting away from the decon door. Kills going back and forth in the end, favouring the CT side. Lion gets 1 frag with the AWP picked up, but as Martin falls, the AWP is all that remains. Bomb towards the back of the site, seen there by the AWP. Gets himself a 2K, scopes back in close against Shinobi, but doesn't land his flick. And Wings up, so panicked there on that hit. Miscoordinated on the post plant as a result, and that leaves another round for D13.
Well, that's the thing, right, is it is panic, because the rotation just come in so quickly. I was not a fan of that outside play. There was so little time, and it meant that they couldn't silently make their way into B. They couldn't put some cross smokes down. They really just had to run from T-Red to Secret, head towards lower. Yeah, they got the bomb down, but the rotations were so quick, so that as soon as that bomb went down, there was already like 2 players in decontamination. D13, a great read on the situation, and Wings up. They were starting off fantastically on this T side, up 6-1. It's slowed down massively now.
And D13 catching up. They steal the CT side away from their opponent's map pick, and that would be a very positive sign right now for this team. It's the AWP in for LAN though. Gets Annihilation to drop. AWP for AWP battle goes well for the T side. Chalking looking in with his Galil up here towards the ramp entrance. He'll be the first contact. Hazeker is ready to receive him. Sees that first player. Smoke down towards ramp position. Escapes towards the B site itself. Shinobi falls to DD. Tamir does chime back in with his own. Haze's got a couple of good positions here that he can work with at the edge of the smokes, but information being hunted for is score instead that chimes in over towards the outside area. Gas falls 3-on-3. Tamir pushes up. Chalking might not be ready for this. Galil takes the fight, but does win it out.
Oh my goodness. 98 and 4, 2 HP onto Chalking. So damn close, but it does allow at least the trade to come out. The score aggressing up through the vents, and the bomb gets planted to the top site. Hazeker and Score in the 2 versus 2. Now there is a kit to work with between them. AWP for LAN has been crucial when it comes down to these post plants, and he's got a very up close and personal position. And now Score's the last one left in live in the 1 versus 2, and the no scope will come through. LAN with 17 kills. He has been so phenomenal for this Wings Up side on the T side of Nuke.
Yeah, truly a stand-up performance from him so far. The AWP has had so many great moments, so many great clutch opportunities. Unfortunately, some of them have not come to full fruition, but at the end of the day, it's still going to mean a positive side. As you mentioned, Wings Up having a great T side overall. They will gain the T half at 8-6, and the buy-up for D13 may leave a knife to that T side board, unless the Mag 7 and the M4 can chime in and do some absolutely manic work. But, you know, don't count that as a definitive. You know, don't hold your breath in that respect. Orb out here, moving up towards the red box is scoped in. SMG pops forward, gets that kill, and starts things off well for D13.
Good start with the aggression. Tamir, how does he find a second, Jay? And he's got a chance to pick up that AWP now. And the Swag 7's out from ramp. I tell you what, Wings Up have got to be careful, because this shotgun in close range could do some damage.
Hazeker ready to receive. They get that first buck in against Martin, but you're right. Yes, he's going to make his way out towards Hell instead, and the CTs have no idea. They see that AWP. Going to look for more contact, though. This. Martin's going to find a way in towards the A site. He's seen 2 now.
2 kills.
Taps up, takes that first. Spray back on a second.
Lovely.
Easy as that. Annihilation dealt with 3-on-3, and they did not see that coming. Spray on the third player. Martin does not go so far as to take Score out of the action, but 14 HP. He's so tradable. Mag 7 at long range against Chalking. Going to take that fight and lose it out. DD gets Tamir as well, and Score is now the last player left on 14 points out of the nowhere. He's on the A site, so rather than go hunting positions, they will just leave one player to lurk towards main smoke, down plant on B, and Score an impossible retake.
Dropping to the lower site means Score and low HP has to try and retake in. And that round was pretty much converted there from Martin. A good response to come out from Chalking and DD to work together. Nade out towards the back wall position. Oh, Chalking still survives, but he's so low, Jay.
Not as low as Score, though. DD can shut him down with the AK and turn 9-6 up to the favour of Wings. We've got to also short break. They will look to dominate their second half of the map. Don't go anywhere. We're back after this.
And never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down. Never fade out. Never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out.
Well, again, a close half between Wings Up and D13 leads towards what could be a very pivotal second half of this map up and for this series as well. Wings Up still down by a map, but up by 3 rounds in this map. D13, if they can turn it around to T-Sol, they'll be able to get this series under wraps. Fast plays coming in so quick out of the game for the pistol round. Lan gets that first kill score, trades it back. Lan with 2, Gas comes up with 1, and Martin still towards the site, drops that bomb planter, leaving Tamir as the last one standing. 1 on 4 for him, and this looks to be a pistol for the CT side.
Upper rush coming in for D13, and they just don't clear out the site completely. Martin's still in the back lines, and the crossfires just get set. There's so many angles for the T side to check once the early exchanges come through. Tamir, the outside look. How? How has that happened? How was there a player below him that didn't get seen? Tamir has seen a player towards the rafters, and Cholkin goes, what? I was underneath him. How did he get to heaven? Wings Up, though. It doesn't matter. They get a 10th round.
Well, at least they timed that right. That could have been 2 easy frags for the lone T-side player. Potential to clutch it back once again, but not to be in the end of things. As you mentioned, 10 to the board of the CT camp. Wings Up. With the rifles out, the M4s, the SMG, and again, sparing no expense. D13 with no bomb plant, therefore no buy. Force Up and the Tech 9s at Eagles. The CZ PT50 as well coming in for Shinobi and Tamir respectively. Onto the squeak door entrance. They're going to try force their way in with a very quick A play, it seems.
Yeah, Wings Up against the force up. D13, no bomb plan in that pistol round, but still going in with the pistols. And DD playing out towards the outside control towards Secret, but D13 look like they're pretty committed to this upper execution. Martin could be sort of the big element here. They need to be making sure that they're mollying the closed vent position.
Molotov's down, there comes Martin with the first phase, Shinobi with the CZ, gets that frag to return. Then dive into the B site very quickly out and about. Taps up the PT50, Tamir is going to try and spread towards the outside control. Sees that one player, CZ for Shinobi, drive-bys and gets the kill, but DD comes up with an SMG frag as Land. Drops Shinobi, next score, the bomb on his back, gets it to a 1-on-2. A 3k up for him to the clutch here, the bomb plant will be received, and they're both coming in from the vents and secret area. Score gets that down. Waiting for the right moment to make his way out from double doors. Opens it up. DD first to face. No HP. Oh, the spray transfer could have come up good, but overcooking it a bit too much. So DD can return the frags, keep the round streak alive for Wings Up.
Oh, DD was so low. All it would have taken was just a stray bullet, and he probably wins out that 1 versus 2. Unfortunate scenes there for the T side, but look, there's a potential for them to force again, right? It came down to a 1 versus 1. They got a bomb plant. They could potentially try and go for a Galil AK kind of buy. It depends if they want to go for the risk. And you know what, Jade? They want it. They're going for the force. I really like this from D13. They're down a big majority of rounds. The AWP's been invested onto land for the CT side, but this is really a good chance for D13 if they can convert it to get back involved in the game of Nuke.
Oh, Max went out to Tamir, dealt with immediately. The Molotov and the M4 spray, dropping that bomb onto the force up from D13, going awry, but Score does get 2 frags. Annihilation follows suit on DD, so maybe there might still be a chance to follow here. That's spraying through against Score's position, but he picks up that bomb, gets it planted now. 3-on-2 situation.
How has this somehow gone back the other way? It was a 5-on-3 for Wings Up. And then Score and Annihilation step up to the plate, and Gas and Lan are now in for the retake. 2 versus 3 on for the CT side. Now, there is a little bit of damage done, and I tell you what, Score's going for a wraparound. He's getting some ramp control. He's going to try and go heaven and backstab.
Annihilation gets Lan, though, and Gas is left alone. Galil spray from Shinobi, and D13 do fast the issue. Now 4 away from the lead. Can they continue the catch-up, though? Wings Up are still at a major, major advantage. And there should be enough to force the issue as well for the CT side.
Yeah, you've got to think Wings Up really... they kind of have to force. A late buy. Very, very late, so... They are going to go in for the force bite. Deagles across the board. DD not even with armor, Jay. He's going a glass cannon Deagle, to say the least. He could have afforded it, but he's opted against it.
Well, Deagle forced by the Wings Up side. Still looking to try and the frags as necessary. It's Ian upstairs. In the secret area, looking towards the silo boost of Shinobi, but can't catch the tag off, can't even catch the frag. Can't do much right here against the T-side defaults, which are pretty passive at the moment. D13 are now only just now starting to lean out towards the outside.
Yeah, it looks to be a fake upper execution to try and get some outside control. You saw Lamb was just trying to work on the edge of that main smoke, but no gap there to be found. Gas with the Deagle, the reposition does come out, but still can't convert the kill. And now for D13, they've got options, Jay, because they've got deep map control outside, and they've even got Tamir waiting for the aggression to come out for lobby.
Oh, H-String score, 2 frags foul. Martin and Shulking lost 2 players left. Deagle ready to receive here. Here in the footsteps into that position, not ready for the heaven pop from Score. As Martin gets that kill now, they can push the bomb into the B side, realising the safest way to do things, but Tamir will get that frag before it's even possible, so nice and easy there for D13 to clean up against the pistols. Full eco should come through from Wings Up.
Alrighty, well I think we might have a bit of a game on our hands here, Jay, going into Nuke. I sort of thought once Wings Up was able to win the pistol and the anti-eco conversion that they had a chance of really just starting to run away with it with an 11-6 scoreline. But now you kind of look at it and think, okay, they're on an eco, D13, it can start to build up a little bit of momentum. They're getting the T-side AWP out. Things could start looking pretty decent pretty quickly for D13. Upper execution very, very fast to come out from the Ts, and the kills come in even quicker.
Oh, tap up from Score. Runs that ammo at the last second, but Shinobi's there to back him up, so therefore they can stay alive. Now 1v5 for DD. Tamir is so ready for this as well. The AK just ready for this pop out from the Deagle player. If DD can get anything out of this, then fair play, but... yeah, this will be 9 to the board of D13. Wings Up, mostly looking towards this rifle investment coming up in round 21. And that's where we'll be at this stage. 2 rounds of difference right now between the catch-up of D13. And no AWPs as far as I can see from the backs of the CT forces. So just M4s across the board.
Full rifle investment. Very, very light on the utility standpoint, Jay. 1 incendiary, no flashbangs on this CT side, and not a single kit. They are very, very limited. Wings Up. I mean, I'm even kind of surprised that they bought the investment here. I may have even liked to have seen just an eco to go for a full investment into the next, because this lack of utility and lack of kits, it may start to affect them going into this kind of rounds.
The smokes can do some early suppression, and if they can use them wisely, then they can definitely keep D13 from gaining the advanced map control. I think already DD was using his out towards the ramp position, but that's the only smoke they had to that ramp position, so D13 will still be able to press forward here on this one. Utility down from the T side, we'll see the Molotovs out, and the flashes at the ready of their own right. Utility placed in towards the A side, going to try and fake a hit towards this side of the map. Tamir, smoke and a Molotov down. DD is suppressed for the moment, blinded off. Does take down face speed that player towards the hell area. Get that frag back, but D13 do get the trade eventually. AWP for Annihilation back to 4v4.
Yeah, look, unfortunately for D13, that upper hit They use so much utility, it's allowed Shinobi to wrap into this heaven position, but even Martin gets a kill through smoke. Finally, a trade on the CT side wrapping in from the lobby position of Child King. And Haze Cut, what can he find here? Gas has got the opportunity of opening up the double doors, doesn't opt to go for it, and now there's an opportunity that the bomb's planted in the 1v2 on the cards, but not checking the right angle at the right time. Wings up, make the retake work, and it all comes down to one man on that CT side. It's Martin.
A great fake out there from Gas, allowing Child King that chance to get the frags up. As you mentioned, Martin, that second kill through the smoke was a little bit of... it shouldn't have happened, let's put it that way. The T side, however, making some pretty dire mistakes as soon as they got panicked. You know, you saw the AWP pushing in towards that ramp when they were rushing down the B site. I don't know why the AK didn't go there instead. The pistol was out, no opportunities available for the T side to get those trades together. They lost full control from the start of that entire hit there, so... 12-9, CT's in control. Rebuy will come through in D13. They'll see the full stack of the AKs and the Kevlar and the helmets and the utility as well for D13. So plenty to work with. Annihilation, though, first to fall straight out the gate into this squeak door, trying to go for the vent dive, split in early to the B site. And with the smokes out towards the outside, looking onto that secret control, Wings Up have got a good read here.
He got a little bit stuck there, didn't he? There was no smoke down for the vent dive. Couldn't get into the vents too. But D13 have taken this very fast outside control. Oh, an uncharacteristic missed shot comes out from LAN. And now this is an opportunity for D13 to try and take some hell and heaven control. 4 versus 4. That should have been a 5 versus 3.
Wings Up. Flashes in against their name. Ace has got one defender, and Haze goes going to deal with him. Child King swings out from Lobido, gets 2 kills. Score trades it. DD and Gas close to the site. Bomb plant should be secure. That Molotov towards Hut will force Score or DD away. Actually force him forward. Instead, they heard that tank, knows that he's close, and Tamir can deal with him. All left to Gas now. 52 HP in this 1 versus 2. The Molotovs will force him even further away. He's back out towards Secret, though. He's saving the AK.
Oh, that was such an aggressive play from Diddy, and honestly, I didn't like it because Gas was so far away. Like, if he was maybe closer, if he was in like a heaven position or like close squeak or lobby, then you could maybe understand it. But he was down in the vents, so it meant for Diddy, he was alone trying to go for an aggressive play that heard the ticks through the flames. And in the end, Diddy went for a solo play, which didn't work out. Still an expensive round to the T's. Only 2 players stay alive. Gas is able to pick up an AWP and recover that too. So they bring something forward. But you've got to think, do they want to force around it? I mean, there's a bit of money, but not a great amount. It's probably beneficial just to go for the eco around this AWP.
A massive round, of course, for D13 to win. The buy-up for Wings Up will look awkward with the Deagles in play. The AWP being the only thing they've realistically got to work with. I mean, these Deagles have won rounds in the past, but never consistently so far in this map-up. Martin will find Annihilation, though. That's a good start. A good way in to kick things off. Tamir will trade, however. Score finds Child King, and now all has been restored to this T13 line.
Diddy has been able to open up lobby. Oh, if you could maybe take down Score, then there could have been a chance back in. Even for Lad, he's staying around with his AWP. He's looking to try and do some more damage rather than just save onto it. He does at least find 1 pick, but an instant trade comes through. And I tell you what, Jay, like the last maybe 4 or 5 rounds have been really down to the wire. It's been very chaotic in the trading game. And it's got to a point in many of the last few rounds that it really is anyone's game. It seems like it always seems to go back and forward with the trading. 11 on the board now for D13. 1 round of a deficit to try and tie up the scoreline at 12 rounds each.
The M4's in check. AWP's out. The AK's in for D13. Wings Up need to try and find some sort of decency here in this round. If they lose control of this one, it could be 13-12 against their favour. Molotov's up, smoke's down as standard. I think I missed smoke actually.
Where's the
There's
other
a
smoke?
big gap. He's still crossed. How did Shinobi get past that? But now they realize what's going on. The secondary smoke can come through this time. Actually out towards the main area. Molotov to try and force land even further away, but mistakes being made by D13.
Oh, great flash onto land, a great opportunity for Tamir, a great recovery in terms of having a massive mistake of just missing a smoke completely. Whether it was failed or it just never came through, we'll never know. But D13 have been able to capitalize on that early mistake. They've got the opening man advantage, flash into the heaven position. Even Tamir gets blinded for it. Oh, mistakes just continue to come through in this round, Jay.
The pressure's on for D13. Gas will turn back against Heiska next. Slow entryways into the A site. Martin and Child King ready to receive it. Smokes down. Tamir takes face, and Martin takes kill. Child King next up. Annihilation is stuck his way straight forward towards his bomb plant position. Child King comes up good. Shinobi and score. Too overwhelmed. Get it back to a 2-on-2. Bomb plant secures. Shinobi is low, and Gas and DD up for the retake, but will play without any Kevlar as the AWP facing in. Shinobi takes him out, and Gas left alone with no kit and no utility for this retake.
And this was a 4 versus 2 advantage for the CT side, and D13 have done magic to make this turn around. Gas leaning his way into the site, playing behind the default position, and Score's going to be able to win out. What a clutch for D13. And you spoke, Jay, to say if the 12th round could come through, it's a potential of a 13, because Wings Up are completely broken with the economy. It's got to be an eco for them. And D13 have got the potential of taking a lead. Wings Up, you've got to think in those kind of positions, you can't allow for D13 to just come into their own. Again, a 4-on-2 advantage up for the CT side. And D13, the two of them just synchronized beautifully together.
And the end result is such a confidence showing here on T side. I mean, Wings have had a good T side of their own right, but D13 could be out to edge them over. Gas, however, with a Deagle half by in alongside the rest of his teammates, gets the first kill. DD with a CZ next to the second. No, Tamir deals with him. Ramp control established very quickly. Martin moving in with a Deagle with score ready for this. Yes, he is, as Martin doesn't check the right place at the right time. Poor crosshair placement on the pre-aim. And Gas here in observation, he gets his Deagle shots on, does damage to Tamir, does not get the kill back. Child King can find a trade, but 3-on-2 scenario, actually! He's denied the bomb plant at the last second, his teammate falls, and Child King looking to recover here. 1-on-2, taking minimal damage, opens up the double doors, and Shinobi is ready to receive it. Decent damage done, it won't mean much against D13's current economy state. Child King attempting the clutch, but unfortunately not able to make it happen.
And you thought just for a moment there, just for that one moment, that things could have turned around completely. I'm planning open for the Windows position, and just some great Deagle shots coming out from Child King. D13 have taken the lead. Now, it was still expensive, but they have got a pretty built-up economy on this T side, Jay. They've been able to win 7 out of the past 8 rounds in the second half. Fasting for the vent dive coming out for Heiska, but he takes a lot of damage in doing so.
Child King can take him out as a result. That vent dive is all a ruse, though. Outside controls where they're really going to go here. I mean, I guess technically not, because it's still going to be a B-side play. Child King is ready to receive this. How's he going to go about it, though? How is he going to hold off on control? Molotov's in. Annihilation opens up the round here for the T-side, catching Lan off guard.
That's the response, and for D13, once that smoke comes down towards Secret, they think, right, okay, let's just try and see if we can fight outside and take back some control. And that's exactly what they've been able to do. Get into this hell and heaven position. That's where DD started to reposition. But he's alone, Jay, and Tamir is going to be able to follow up. Now the opening man advantage goes the way of the T side.
And Child King with the AK is going to be checked upon here in the vent. Shinobi sees his man, takes his head right off his shoulders. Gas still here towards upper. They're going to go through heaven. This could be a big mistake. He catches Score off guard and takes him down with a bomb. Makes his way back around towards the B side. They realize the B side access is gained. Annihilation shot does not connect there to the held position. And post-plant ensues for Wings Up's retake. 3-on-2. Martin has the kit. He needs backup and support from Gas.
Oh, off angle coming out for Shinobi. This is going to be a tough shot to come out for Martin, but he makes it work. And Tamir's incredibly low. 2 versus 2 for the retake now for the CT side. And Gas coming out for the ramp entrance. Missed AWP shot. And now it's down to the 1 versus 1. Annihilation is going to be able to win it out. Get a 3K and put 14 on the board. Reset the money line once again for the CT side. And D13 are coming alive 5 rounds in a row on this T side, Jay. And they are getting closer and closer to victory.
Yeah, 2 rounds away from the series win. 2 rounds for Wings Up on the vice versa side of things to get back to an even standing. And D13's economy is still built. It's been taking some damage, but they can still buy in the next round. Meanwhile, 2 from Masters coming out for Wings Up, and another big forced-up scenario for them. No AWPs, obviously, and lacking in utility once again for the CT count. They used a little bit early on with the smokes up and everything, but backed up the DD, the FAMAS standing by, ready behind the boxes, but unable to take any contact or kills.
Yeah, D13, this is crucial, an absolute crucial round, because the economy is so low from the CT side. They've got to realize, we win this round, we probably win the game. It means that Wings Up are going to be on an awkward force buy to follow, where you have your MP9s, your FAMASs, maybe even some shotguns. This could be one of the most crucial rounds we've seen in this entire series. Outside smokes. This time, Jay, they do make it work. They get that second one in.
The M4 watching. Smokes down, Molotovs. Flash at the ready to allow some outside entryways to come through onto the garage areas where the D13 side will move forward. Tamir backed up. 1 player so close towards the position will take that fight and win it out against Land. Good stuff. 30 seconds now for D13 to make the entryways into the site, and Gas is ready to receive it.
Now, what's the play here for the T side? Do they want to try and go lower? Are they still going upper? It has to be an upper play at this point. They've got Tamir out from the heaven flank, and he needs to be able to at least find some damage. Gas towards a close fed position, has got a crossfire set. The CTs are getting kills. Now that bomb's been dropped, and it's down to 2 players on this T side. They need to pick up that bomb. Tamir's stuck in heaven, and this round is pretty much finished. He might just try and save onto the AK at this point. Wings Up. What a crossfire to that upper bomb side. And as soon as that bomb was dropped, that round was over. That round was finished.
Tamir couldn't act quick enough towards the flank position. If he got towards heaven, he would have played distraction enough to get the T-side players in through main. Failing on that respect, but left alone alive to live with his guilt and live with that AK into the next round. 14-13, a single differential now between Wings Up and the opposition. They need a follow-up round, though. They need to connect it together. Their loss bonus will be in tatters. Their money line also the same. Orbs and M4s will come out, but Orbs and AK is the same for the D13 side. Pivotal round here, especially for Wings Up. Again, they're the ones that don't have anything to fall back on. They're the ones that need this victory more than anything else.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and I sort of mentioned it in that last round, the instant reset potential, it almost carries over the exact same position going into this next round, Jay. The reserve money is so low, and even the loss bonus has been kicked back a notch. D13 going for the outside control once again. Now, they've found a lot of success outside, finding opening picks. Lamb with the AWP, trying to spam through, see if he can find a connection, but no damage will be dealt.
Yeah, 2 players can cross that towards secret control as a result here. Edge of the smoke, the flash is over to Mir, dealt with by Gas. This time the victory goes his way here in the opening frags. I know that he's there towards credit card though, and Lamb's watching with the AWP to support him. The outside control, Gas is going to get dealt with. When does Shinobi swing? He doesn't opt to do so. His eyes on from Hell, makes his way towards the locker room. The smokes will clear out, and Score does not see anything against him. He'll sneak around though, could find the backstab on his AWP. I think they know he's here. What's the timing like? Good, it seems. The T side, almost a missed shot there for Score. Takes that face and gets the second player though. And DD goes down. Now Martin and Child King left alone for Wings Up. As the T's go down into the B-side play. M4 here for Child King. Can get that frag back. Player dropping in from the vent control as well. He's going to come up and try to support it. And yeah, D13, last second rotation. They have some upper presence.
Oh, look at Shinobi, though. He's going to be able to catch them off from vents, you would expect, but they do need to be making sure that that bomb gets planted in towards the side. Shinobi, ready for it, and now it's down to Martin out from Secret. 1 versus 3. He's got to save. He can't go for this. He'll be giving up 15 rounds for D13, but he's run out of options.
Yeah, if he had a kit, then I could give him the credit to try and go for a clutch, but even then, that would be a very, very difficult prospect in a 1v3 scenario with AKs and AWPs in play and ready to receive here from the CT post-plant positions. Map and series point and qualification point as well for D13. Just need one more good round to go their way, and they will have this best-of-5 victory. They will have this series again. They'll take that final spot over in IEM Beijing in the Asian tournament, and as they lose that last rifle, Wings Up get their only crutch taken away from them.
What a round. What a round. D13. There was so many complexions to their T-side, and something that I gave credit for Wings Up in the early start of their T-side is how many mind games and sort of over-rotations they were able to pull out. That's what kind of D13 did there. They set themselves up to go for a lower play. They found an opportunity to go back to the upper bomb side, forcing the over-rotations to lower. And now the force buy has to come through for Wings Up. Fast A-side execution. This is quick.
The gas threshold down on the initial frag and win the closed qualifiers as a result. They'll be going to IEM Beijing Asia. What a performance thrown up by these guys.
Yeah, look, honestly, for D13, they've been a team that have been on the rise, Jay, in Asia. They haven't had a massive opportunity this year in being in too many top tournaments. We saw them in ESL 1 Road to Rio. We saw them in the Perfect World event. But outside of that, you know, they've been in a lot of the open and closed qualifiers where they've come up short. They've come into the closed qualifier of IEM Beijing, and they've made it. Now the task is going to get even more difficult as they go into the main event. But it's one hell of a victory for them today, and they can be pleased with how they played out that best-of-5. A 3-1 victory over the likes of Wings Up.
Indeed, yes, a big win for D13. Wings Up did show a bit of a fight, though, and therefore, I guess they can walk away with a bit of a decent sort of shout. I mean, look, you had them you had them pinned to take the victory overall, but, you know, again, they came from the open qualifier and actually managed to beat other likes of Tiger in the past, so, like, you know, they were able to, you know, make it into this grand finals despite the fact the invited teams are the clear favourites, and, you know, for them, like, they can be relatively happy with what they did today.
Yeah, look, I suppose you can kind of make that sort of statement. I personally, I would say they'd be disappointed. The reason for that is obviously they've qualified for FunSpark. You know, they got 2 victories over Vici, who them and Tai Lu are the best 2 teams in Asia and have been for this entire year. So to kind of go down in the closed qualifier, I think can be a little bit disappointing. Look, it was a close best-of-5. It wasn't as if it was a whitewash. There was down to the wire games, down to the wire rounds too. But look, in the end, especially when you're in a weighted best-of-5, it is so much more difficult coming in for that lower bracket, and that one map advantage made the difference here today for D13.
And in the end, it will tip them over the edge, as you mentioned, making the difference over in our last map of the series. And therefore, D13 take Nuke, take this series, and take their spot in IEM Beijing to join the likes of Invictus, Tyloo, and Vici already receiving their invites. So the big boys definitely ready for another big team to take a challenge over in the main event, which of course is starting up very, very soon indeed. But we still have a few more closed qualifiers to go down over the course of the next few days. For now, all the Asian and Australasia sort of area is all basically completed at this stage, Dwayne. So we have our final teams completed with the likes of Vertex beating out Chiefs earlier on over on the mainstream. So, yeah, good action all around, and it looks like some interesting results have come our way.
Yeah, look, absolutely. And look, it's always nice to see some of the closed qualified teams really start to show up and have some upset potentials. But obviously going into the main event, like you said, starting up soon, Jay, is where the challenges really start to begin for those teams that have made their way through the closed qualifier rather than being invited. But look, you know, we saw some surprises. We've seen some very exciting games. And look, for D13, like, there's certainly some players on that lineup that really stood out for me today. I thought Annihilation was very consistent with that AWP. Score was certainly a very strong rifler, and it almost felt like over the course of this series too, there were so many players popping off on completely different moments. Like, they didn't exactly have a hard carry in this series.
No, absolutely not. Again, they worked as a good team, and I kind of enjoyed how well they played. So you know what? Credit where it's due at the end of the day. We return in 5 days' time with the European and North American closed qualifiers, so all that action is set to go down very, very soon indeed. But for tonight and for the rest of the day, we're going to have to bid you all adieu. Once again, I've been the Eternal Jay, your commentator. Joining me tonight has been Dwayne. Any final words from you, mate, before we head out?
Just, you know, support D13. I mean, they're going to certainly need it going into the main event, so all the fans out there, please support the D13 guys. They showed up one hell of a performance today, and I'll be really keen to keep an eye out for them once the main event starts over in Asia.
Awesome. Once again, thank you very much for watching and for listening. We will see you back here very soon for the European and North American closed qualifiers for the IEM Beijing-Haidian online.
With the right CPU, you can turn any game from familiar to phenomenal. Unleash the potential in all your gaming with Intel 10th Gen processors. With its optimal balance of threads, cores, and frequency to deliver elite real-world performance, only Intel can bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game PC optimizations. Supercharge your Marvel's Avengers experience with Intel Core i5, i7, and i9 processors.
On Intel Extreme Master Certified PCs, you'll find a gold badge. It means you'll find brilliance inside, that you'll get high-grade components like Intel Core i7 and i9 processors that'll deliver the uncompromised performance you need to game like a pro. Not to mention, every purchase supports the prize pool of Intel Extreme Masters. Intel, unleash your brilliance.
My name is Trace Saranthus. I am building a PC for Jordan Gilbert.
My goal was really to get something that was no compromise, super powerful, and ideally not built by Trace.
Yes, thank you so much, Jordan Gilbert. You know, we don't make mistakes around here. We made happy accidents.
I get a booster seat here. Enter now for a chance to win one of 3 PCs built by me, Jason, or Trace.
Save your team, be a hero. Take home the cup, be a star. They waiting for you. Take aim, shoot your arrow. It's your time to shine. Show them who you are. Stronger, gotta go faster. Gotta get better. Gotta work harder. It's fight or flight now. Get up now. Go with the move, go for the goal. Lead up the stadium, you know how it's done. Stand up, go when it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you back out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, go when it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you back out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out.